Showtime! Hey everyone, welcome to Deadbeat Studios. I'm Jamie Lewis, and today we're going to be checking out not one, but actually two Darkglass combos. Both of these came out, I think, about a month ago. These are from the Combo 500 series. I've got a 112 here and also a 210. And let me make sure these are from the Infinity series. Please say Infinity. Yes! Y'all. You have no idea how many times I hit a button and the wrong thing happens. So first of all, let me just say that this is going to be live, uncut, and unedited today. So please, please give me some grace, cut me some slack, because I'm going to say wrong things. I'm going to play wrong notes. Here's how we're going to do the unboxing with a machete, because why wouldn't you? So check it out. These are still sealed. I haven't heard them yet. I don't know what they sound like. So we're going to unbox them. I'll do what I call my first impression, where I'm just going to kind of play it, see, tweak the knobs, see what it does. Then we'll start playing some songs. I'll plug multiple instruments into it, 4 strings and 5s, active and passive. We'll check it out as best we can. I'll even put up a mic and compare the 112 to the 210. And we're going to spend about an hour just checking out these amps, putting them through its paces, and seeing what they do. First thing, though, I got to unbox it. When I do these unboxings, I always try to not use the manual if I don't need it, just to see how user-friendly it is. Imagine, you're on a stage or in a studio and your amp died. Okay, we got a USB cable and a power cable. Imagine your rig died on you and you've got to borrow the bass amp or the head or whatever from the next band or the previous band, and you're wondering, how intuitive is it? Am I going to be able to dial in a tone with it? I got to go on stage in 3 minutes. How long is it going to take me to figure out how to use this thing? So that's kind of the angle that I take with this. And if I need the manual, it's right here. No big deal. So let's start with this. Let me just put this up here so we can check it out. I imagine both of them are the same in terms of their features. The head, I'm pretty sure the only difference is the speaker configuration. But if that's not the truth, then we're going to find that out over the course of this hour. But man, this looks really nice. Very clean. I'll bring this over. I've got tripods and other cameras set up around the room. So I'll show you what the top panel looks like. And we'll get to check it out. But right off the top, very clean looking. I like it. Let's kind of set that there. Let's get this next one going. Again, remember this one is the 112. So it's a little bit smaller. Just because there's less speakers in it. Yeah. It looks about the same so far. Now, I also need to say this. I know there's a USB cable in here, and I know that there's an entire software suite attached to this. As you can see, I'm unboxing it now. I haven't installed software. I haven't connected Bluetooth and apps and stuff. And this video is going to be less than an hour. Oh, geez. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to that, especially since there's 2 of these. And I want to do a comparison, and we're miking up a cab. I just might not have time for it. So if we don't get to the software suite, just know that it exists, and maybe I'll get to it in another video. Let's just see if this one happens to be the same as the other. Yep, pretty much the same vibe, same head, same everything, just in a smaller package. Not bad. Okay, let me plug these things in. Let's see what they sound like. This right here is what the top of it looks like. I'll go through each of these in just a second, but let me finish just putting everything where it needs to go. I think I can get this one here. Yeah, that looks pretty good in this camera. Perfect. All right, cool. So the first thing I'm going to do is just check out the features. I got an XLR cable, power cable, guitar cable. We'll start by, I guess, checking out the head first. Then I'll mic them up. And then I'll compare the two, in the room and tell you which one I think I like better. I'm already kind of pretty sure I would use the 112 in the studio and the 210 live because that's just how I usually do it. I like single speakers in the studio, and I like more speakers when it comes to playing live. But we won't pigeonhole it. We'll see what it actually sounds like. Up here on top, let's just check out the features, and then we'll look at the back side of the other cabinet. So we got master volume. I'm going to assume, can I go to this screen? Yeah. I'm going to assume that the master volume here is not going to affect the DI output that's going to our headphones. Probably just controls the speaker volume. So we'll see. We'll probably monitor with this down, so that way, you know, I can play with headphones and not have to worry about the speaker throwing volume at me. What else we got up here? Input gain. We have an input jack and a headphone jack, so it also works as a practice amp. Pretty nice. That probably turns on and off the graphic EQ, I'm guessing. We've got a compressor and an overdrive. That's pretty common for Darkglass. They like to include that stuff. Level, blend, preset volume, and tone. Okay, so these ones I'm not really sure what they're going to do right off the bat. Tone, I'm guessing that's a top-end roll-off compressor, and I'll bet you the level and the drive are both for the overdrive channel. Blend, comparing dirty to dry. I don't know if the compressor is going to be in the wet signal. And then what is this one? Preset volume. Yeah, I don't know what that's going to do. I might have to look at the manual for that. Let's take a look at the backside. Yeah. On this, let me just rotate it around. All right. I'm sorry if you can't see that too well. Yeah. Better if I could have us both on here. But essentially, get my microphone closer. We got two XLRs, one for pre and one for post. That's pretty nice. We've got a MIDI and a USB. Again, I don't know if we're going to get to that today because I've only got an hour. And, you know, hey, we're doing the best we can. And line out, line in, an effects send and return, and then an extension speaker. So all pretty standard stuff if you think about it. It's ready to expand, ready to connect it to other cabinets. I like the two DIs. That way you can kind of record a dry one and then send an affected one to front of house or the recording console or whatever it is. Effects send and return is nice. I don't ever use them, but I get it. I get it if you're way into pedals and effects and stuff. That's kind of really important. So yeah, let's go ahead and plug these things in and see what they sound like. Get an XLR running over here. Hold on. We're going post out on the XLR. Let's go ahead and plug in this power cable. Now, there's a reason why I do this all live. Honestly, I don't want you to accuse me of cheating. Because sometimes people do, you know. Sometimes they'll be like, hey, look, I'm playing. But they're actually not playing. They're just lip syncing or something. So, I like to actually do it. Turning on. There we go. Perfect. Okay, check it out. It lights up. Let's just grab a cable really quick. I'm just going to tap on it and see if we're getting volume from the speaker itself. Sorry, I'll try to keep a better eye on this microphone. So, are we getting signal? I'm hearing it from the cabinet, and I don't know if you guys can see when I tap on it. It's definitely lighting up there. All right, cool. So I'm going to leave this volume down. Yep, and that's the one that's going to you guys. Cool. Let me grab a bass real quick. I already tuned it up. Hopefully it stayed in tune. All right, I think we're getting signal. Let me throw on my headphones. Y'all, I promise we're going to be making music in just a couple of minutes. As soon as I get unraveled from all my cables. You guys have this problem at home? Do you have a million cables? All right. Hat has to come off. When you're wearing over-the-ear cans like this, the seal isn't as good around your ears if you have a hat or a beanie or something on. So it's good to do it this way. Are we clipping? All right, so input is the only thing that's working. I see. Okay, sorry. Let me come over to this angle. I realized I was on the wrong one. All right, so I'm going to flatten everything out, and let's start playing around here. See what we get. Compressor's off. Blend is all the way to the left. Preset volume, level, drive. Yeah, I don't know. Let's just go down on everything. Everything's flat. I can see these aren't doing anything until I hit that button. Now these are working. So it looks like the LEDs have to be lit up in order for the graphic EQ to work. And I'm guessing these are different presets of combinations of the amplifier. So that's pretty cool. And then totally flat. I know Darkglass sometimes has whatchamacallit, like touch screens and sliders and stuff. Oh, it's got a tuner. That's what that is. Okay, cool. So I don't know if you guys noticed, this has been kind of going back and forth. It's a tuner. All right. Now I don't need to keep plugging into the Kemper. So right off the bat, I do like that. Built-in tuner. Input. The NS Pulse has a really hot output to begin with, this Spector bass, which is totally flat. It's a boost-only EQ, and I'm going to go center on both pickups, PJ, so pretty common. Let's see what the compression knob does. Do I have to push on it? Okay, so that's not doing anything until I go to here. Okay, that's very compressed because it's all the way up, and now it's not. I'll turn off my microphone for a second. So, anyways, looks like I have to like engage one of these in order for the knobs to work. I'm sure there's something on the back or somewhere I'm not pushing something that allows, you know, like I can't seem to get anything right now. And again, if I grabbed the manual and read it, I'd probably figure it out. But let's just start with one of these presets. Okay, so the preset volume, I'm guessing, is wherever you set the master gain or whatever when you save it to a channel. And I'll bet all I have to do is like hold down this button. Yeah, and so it blinks a few times, and now it's you know, set there. Got some overdrive. Okay, tapping on the overdrive changes the overdrive sound. Ah, okay, yeah, tapping on these knobs is what turns them on and off. Okay, so again, like I know that I could just grab the manual and read it or watch a YouTube video, but like that's what I'm trying to do here is to see if someone handed this to me before I walk on stage, was like, "Oh, your amp broke. Here, use mine." Why isn't the compressor working? Why isn't the EQ working? So the graphic EQ, I don't know how to turn on and off yet. Oh, and there's also presets here. When I hit this button, it banks to a different, you know, one of these. So very, very interesting. I can tell it's got more going on behind the hood. Shit, I'm sorry. I was doing all that. You guys couldn't see it. When I hit this preset knob here, you can see like the different ones are lighting up. So a lot more behind the hood than you would typically get from an analog amp. And that's the point. This is a digital one. I'm going to turn off my mic and just play for a little bit. That way you don't hear my fingers tapping. Okay, so all the way left is dry, all the way right is wet. Figured that out. So tapping on this knob right here cycles through, looks like 3 different distortion engines, and then you have control over them. And I imagine hitting the compressors the same way. So kind of the same way with the distortion. You got like 3 levels, a little bit, quite a bit, and then over the top. And you just kind of blend it however you want. Let me see. If I turn off. Oh, it's got an octave. OCT? No, I'm not hearing an octaver. Okay, I don't know what that's doing. That's the tone knob for the distortion, obviously. I'll turn off my mic again. That sounds like a synth bass. Okay, let me say this. I definitely like the compressor for slap. It definitely brought it in your face. We get a little bit of a volume dip, which is fine because, again, we can adjust the preset volume, save it, and then every time I want to go to my slap setting, it works. Yeah, everything's been, like I said, it only took me, 2 or 3 minutes to figure out what everything did. Push here, do that, start playing with the graphic EQ. So let's start with this. Let me play a song. We'll get to the dirty channel in a second. But let's start with something that's a bit old school sounding. Let me play the track. Let me check the volume of it. All right.
I hate to spoil their evening, but there's something I've been meaning to say.
Okay, so I'm going to dial in a tone that's appropriate for this song. But first thing I want to do, I want to look on the back over here. Okay, there is a button back here, which I'm assuming is the cabinet, the impulse responses for the cabinet sim. I just pushed it on that one. So let me see. I found it right here. Let me see if this button is going to turn on cabinets or not. So here's the bass currently. No, sounds the same. So that button back there must be a ground switch. Let me just double check. No. Okay, so if there are cab emulators, impulse responses, and that kind of thing, maybe you access it through the app, or again, just something I'm not seeing. The manual will probably show us, and I'll pick that up in a couple of minutes. I want to keep playing with it, seeing what I can come up with on my own. Let me just dial in a tone for this song. Yeah, not bad. For this kind of stuff, I really like a thumpy 300 hertz. It's probably this red one right here. Nice. Cut that one out. Yeah. Now I'm going to do the opposite of those two. Okay, let me back off the gain a little bit. What I like to do for this kind of music is mellow out. Actually, the low end's pretty hot. And lean more on the low mids and the finger strike frequency, which is somewhere around 800 to 1.2K or something like that. I think it's this one right here. That's a little bit too high. That's it right there. It's a bit much. Okay, let's compress it a little bit. Oops. That's a bit much. I'm just going to go with the level 1 setting. Yeah. All right. Let's pull in the track, see what happens. I'll mute my microphone so that you guys don't hear, again, the finger strikes and that stuff coming through. Here we go.
There's something I've been meaning to say. You know I can't take it every time I see you looking that way. So tell me if I'm crazy or if this love is true. 'Cause I've been thinking that there's something I just gotta do if I can get it out.
Damn it, I missed that last note, of course. And we go into a solo. Okay, not bad. I started to mess around with it there at the end. Real quickly, at the top of the song, I switched over to the neck pickup. Mostly, yeah. So here's, actually, this is pretty close to what we were just tracking. Here's what the neck pickup sounded like. Just a little bit less focused and more hairy sounding. I'm impressed. Very cool. Let me switch over. I'm going to put this bass down, and actually I'm going to reamp 3 different songs, something funky, something poppy, and something a bit heavier with more attack, and we'll really dive in with the overdrive on those ones. And yeah, see what we can do. But instead of playing the bass, I'm going to reamp different performances in. That way, instead of me playing and dialing at the same time, I can just worry about the tone. So give me 1 second. Okay, so let's check the signal of the bass. This is totally dry. Yep, everything's disengaged. I'm curious. Hold on. I just figured this out. Okay, so check this out. I was looking on the back. I was like, I know that Darkglass has these impulse responses and cab simulators. It was there all along. It's this button right here. So when I'm cycling through these different red dots, those are all the different cabs. Again, this is the cool part about reamping and just twisting knobs is now I don't have to play at the same time. And a lot of times while I'm playing, I'm not thinking of, or I'm missing a lot of the things that are happening in the gear. So I'm just saying this is a really neat process. Let's start there. It's a bit darker and woofier. The thinnest and mid-rangey. I think I like the middle one the most so far. Okay, I like the last one in the middle one. Or the first one. Okay, so if you're looking at like just whatever the default ones are as you're cycling through, I don't know if my hand is cutting that out. But the first one, the middle one, and the last one, those seem to be my favorite, at least for this genre. We'll kind of cycle through them and check them out. So what I'm going for in this tone is, let's see, we already did kind of thumpy and low mid. Let's sort of do the opposite. Let's see if we can't get funky and dirty, sort of like Wolfpack, but with distortion. I don't know. Let's see if we can dial that tone in. I'm just gonna let this loop for a while. I think the blue is definitely cool. It's a bit dark on this setting. I think either the first one or the last one. There's dry, no cabinet. Let's go with this one. I'm gonna flatten out the EQ curve. Yeah, I don't need any of that. Add a little bit of compression. Pretty dirty, pretty rock. Let me check my levels really quick. That's sick.
Bring the party every time. Just keep dancing all the time. Ooh, things going my way. 'Cause it's a new day. So let's celebrate. Put you in a good.
Okay, I just found it. That is sick. Let me go ahead, switch to this angle. Let's take a listen to this one more time. Come on. Supposed to be going to full screen. There we go.
Woke up on the right side of the bed. Turn up, got the music in my head. Open the front door to see. They all groove into this beat. Just keep dancing all the time. Memorizing every line. Bring the party every time. Just keep dancing all the time. Things going my way. 'Cause it's a new day. So let's celebrate. Put you in a good.
Yo, man, that was sick. Oh, let me turn off all these crunchy towns so it's not killing us. That's a totally different tone than I normally go for on that song. Very sick. Let me say this also, and I'm sure you've noticed, I'm not familiar with the Darkglass line. It's not something I commonly play with. So that's one of my favorite things to do, is to take something that I know Darkglass and Dingwall, they get pigeonholed for metal. You play rock and metal. And I love doing things you're not supposed to do with that stuff. Probably wouldn't use this tone on this kind of song, and that's why the producer hires me. Seriously, when you do something that belongs in another genre or another type of song, and you bring that to the table, I can almost guarantee you, the producer, the songwriter, everyone in the room's going, I didn't hear Motown on a dubstep song. That's killer. You know what I mean? Like you're blending ideas that otherwise to everyone else shouldn't go together, but you and I know better. Okay, let me start flat again. Oh, and I do want to say this. You can rewind it to see, because I've already moved on. I've already canceled out the settings. But on that last one, the very end of the song where there's that, I love the way the compressor and the distortion together were able to pull that line out, because I know when I play that in the studio and every time I do it here on the show, sometimes those notes don't come out very well because they're fast, and I'm not a particularly fast player. So I do the best I can. Let's go ahead and try another song. This one is, man, my touchscreen does not like to work with Apple computers. Just going to set this to loop. We'll turn off the track. And let's go for, let's see. The last instrument was a Fender P bass. This one, we started with the Spector bass. This one over here is really cheap. This is an affordable Harley Benton bass. I don't remember which one. I wrote it down. It's the JP-45OP. I don't know. There's links to everything I'm using in the description. Go check it out. You help the channel a tiny bit with affiliate marketing, so I appreciate you for the commission. Very, very tiny, very small. Let me emphasize that part. So I don't know exactly which one this is, but there's a link to it, and I know it's probably under $150. So let's see how this amp does with one of those instruments. And by the way, just in case you forgot, this one's still over here. This is the 210. We've only been using the 112 so far. And again, they're the same electronics minus the speaker, which we have turned off at the moment. As you can see, the master volume is pulled all the way down, just so that, we're really comparing apples to apples. I'll do one more song, and then on the next one, I'll compare the volumes, and we'll mic that one up. And we'll see which one we like in that scenario. Okay, back over here. Let's turn the track off, set this to loop. Okay, now this instrument is totally stock, so this really is like $150, $100, $200 bass. This is dry, no processing. First thing I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna run through these presets and see if we strike gold. I like that. It's kind of what we did last time. Let's do something a little bit different. Okay, hold on, the loop point was too long. Let's try that again. Okay, so now it's gonna loop it a little sooner. There is an octaver. I knew that OCT meant something. Okay, so there is an octaver. We're just gonna have to dive in the manual or probably the app to turn on those effects and stuff. And again, we'll get to it. Okay, now I'm going to try to make this one work, because listen to the song. I'm going to unmute the track. Listen to the song. So the song is pop, very modern pop, lots of electronic elements, lots of production. So let's see if we can't go more synth bassy with this. I'm going to turn the track back off, just try to dial in a decent synth bass tone. And I remember one of these overdrives was it. There's the dry. That's almost synth bassy. It's pretty sweet. Let me bring the track in. I'm just going to pull the track down a little bit. It's a little hot. All right. Let's hear this one from the beginning. See what we get. That's all we get on that one. I have to do these only in like 20 to 30 second clips. All this music that you're hearing, I recorded all of it. This is production music. I forget what TV show this is in. That's from a Netflix show. So all the music that you hear on the live stream, this is all music that we recorded here at Deadbeat Studios. It's on some movie, some TV show, some artist, but I'm going to get copyright dinged for it if I let it run for too long. So I always make sure the clips that I play are like 20 to 30 seconds, because then I'll get dinged for my own copyright, and then I'll have to pay myself, which is hilarious because the money still goes to me, but the lawyers take 90% of it or something stupid. Oh, man, that was pretty cool. Not bad. I wish... Okay, here's one thing I wish there was is a mute. I'm sure... Like I'm trying to, like there's some buzzing because of the overdrive, right? Like that's just the thing. So I'm looking for a kill switch, an easy way. And obviously if I just hit this until it goes back to center, that means nothing's on, and that'll be the lowest noise. Not always the case. Not every amp has a mute switch on it, but it's nice when you have to do an instrument change and that kind of stuff. And maybe there is one on the back. No. No, there isn't one. And maybe there's one up on top that I don't know about. One of these like double tap buttons or something like that. You know what? The input jack, I don't know. That has a pressable button, but I don't see anything happening on the screen. Oh! Okay, I don't know if you guys can see this right here. I'll blow the screen up. There's this effects button right there. Okay, so let me check this out. I'm going to play that last one again. I'll turn off the track. Here's the bass line we just heard. So we have that octaver on. Nope, that's not doing it. Maybe there are some effects that it's turning on and off, but it wasn't the octaver. That's okay. One more song. This one is, oh, you know what I wanted to do? I wanted to mic up a cabinet. Okay, let me think about how I can do this. Because if I was going to mic it up, I would mic up this one. But if I'm standing right here in front of it, I'm going to hear mostly the amp. Okay, so I'm not going to mic up a cab. It's hard to do with combo amps. Yeah, and this doesn't have a... I can't disconnect the... Okay, here's what I was thinking about doing. I do have a second room over here where I can put the other combo amp and run a speaker cable to it, mic that one, tweak away on this one, and that would be the way for me to hear it. But I'm just realizing now, yeah, I can't disconnect the speaker from the cabinet without getting out a screwdriver and unwiring it and then running the extension out into that one. That would probably be a problem. So I'm not going to mic up a cabinet, but we'll play this last one through these two, and I'll kind of step back and do like a room mic test. I'll also I'll run the DI so you guys can hear it. But here in the room, I'm going to hear both of these speakers playing out of the speakers, and I'll let you know which one I think is better for this sound. First, let me get the loop to set up. Actually, I don't need to do that. Let's do it this way. All right. This one's a live recording. This song's called Dominatrix. Dominatrix. It's by a band called Evening Elephants that I play with from time to time. This was from a show that we did with Zed. I've got the backing track turned off. Yeah, okay. All right, let me flatten this out. Let's come back over here and see what we got. This is a Michael Kelly 5-string. I'm going for a real clicky. Probably status quo Darkglass Dingwall sound. A lot of click, a lot of smack, basic rock tone. Oh, hey, Dracula, come here. You guys didn't know, Dracula's my dog. You can't see him because he's all the way down there. What's up, buddy? Yeah. Go have a seat on the couch, okay? Go sit on the couch. I'm not done yet. We're still working here. Okay, we're starting off flat on the amp. Let me just dial it in and see what we get. Okay, so there we are, totally flat. Oh, wait, what was this one? Now, here's the thing. I know a lot of you think I'm cheating right now because I'm just hitting a preset and then tweaking from there. But here's the thing. I'm a studio guy. Time is money in the studio. And actually, it's more expensive than money because you can't get time back. You can always get more money. So I'm all for start with the preset, tweak away. That sounds great. Hit record, right? If I spend 45 minutes dialing in a tone, that pisses me off because I didn't get paid for those 45 minutes, right? I just get paid for the end result. So if I can start with something that's pretty close and then just tweak from there, I'm a big fan because, again, that's my industry. That's what I'm trying to do. I like where this one's starting from. Let's see if I can't tweak it and dial it even more. Definitely like this EQ the most. Yeah! Spank, there it is. Okay, let's tame it with some compression. There's the dry signal. Yeah. This mid-band knob right here, the third one, that is really good at cleaning out the mud. Listen to that again. I'll pull it all the way up and all the way down. Sounds good, but now it's a lot more clear. Let's pull on the track. There's dry. Yo, I'm digging it. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'll play this example back. You guys can hear it down. I'm going to mute my microphone, and while you guys are watching, I'm going to turn this on. Right. So again, you guys aren't really going to hear the amp in the room because there's not really a way to do that effectively. Yeah, not really. So I'm just going to be the judge. I'm going to listen to this one. Then we'll listen to it again and I'll run it through this guy over here. And I'll just tell you, I'll put the settings exactly the same on both of them. In fact, while we're doing that, I'll get this one powered up. And yeah, we'll just kind of listen to that example out of the 12 and out of the 210. And we'll see which one delivers for this song. All right, here we go. Let's do it. Why aren't you working? Oh, come on. Sorry, I just realized my microphone's still on. Okay, turning my mic off, and then we're going to do that again. Here we Okay, that was awesome. I've got this one powered up, but you're gonna have to give me a quick second because I've got to set it over to the same exact settings as this one, reamp that same performance. We'll watch it again. I heard it in the room. Obviously, a little bit more thinner, more mid-rangey. It's a single 12. Let's see if we don't get a little bit more power out of this one. So we're on the highest level comp. And it's right about there. Give me just 2 seconds. I'm going to do my best to get these pretty much the same. Thankfully, those LED lights help out tremendously. I know, Dracula. I know, bud. All right, and then like that. And this one's like this. And the graphic EQ. Gosh, so many knobs. Okay, so again, they're not identical, but this amp over here, in fact, wait, can I do... No, I don't have an angle set up for that. Okay, so let's listen back one more time. I'm going to turn my microphone off, but now I'm going to be hearing this one. Because I'm unplugging this. This is still here. All right, let's do that again. I realize, of course, there's a problem with this because now you guys aren't hearing the bass. So, again, y'all, this is how you know it's live. Who would do this? Who would do a YouTube video like this? Only Deadbeat Studios. Okay. Let me see. Are we turning off the track? Is the bass playing? Let me see. Are we getting the signal? Yep, bass is coming through. And you're hearing it in the ears too. All right. I know, bear with me, y'all. It's going to be worth it. Turning off my mic, and now we're going to hear it. All right, so as expected, kind of what I said at the beginning, I was definitely confirmed. This is the one I want in the studio. This is the one I want to take on stage. You're just gonna have to take my word for it, because again, there's not really an effective way to show the difference. Because once you put a mic in front of something, the placement, the distance, the type of microphone, a lot of those things make a difference. So not really fair to do a play-by-play comparison, but you can take my word for it. This one right here, nice and full, single speaker, that's what I want in the studio. This one, punchy, loud. This is the one I want behind me when I'm standing next to a drummer and a couple of, guitar amps. As far as their functionality, very cool. They've got everything that you would want. Compression, built-in effects. We didn't even get to the app because, again, I'm trying to keep this under an hour. But yeah, it's got effects built in, graphic EQ, 6-band, plus the recall settings, 6 different is there 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different cabinet simulators, plus the dry signal, pre and post out. Like, yeah, man, they feature pack this thing. Pretty sick. So if you're a studio guy and you just want one amp to rule them all, one that does everything, built-in tuner. I totally forgot about that. And if there's a mute switch and I couldn't find it, Darkglass, I'm sorry. Y'all let me know in the comments where it is and we'll figure it out. But yeah, I would be totally happy taking either of these amps on stage or into the studio. The only difficulty with a studio combo is like when you want to have one in the control room and one in another room. I'm sure it's possible where I can detach the speaker cable from this one and then just run it in. I just couldn't do it quickly here on film because, you know, I don't want to waste too much of your time. I want to waste your time, but not all of it. So that's my thoughts. You can't go wrong with either of these. The Infinity series, super sick. I like all the features. I love the digital stuff, the built-in headphone amp. It's got everything that you would want from it. Was it intuitive and easy to figure out? Yeah. But I also knew what I was looking for because I've used some Darkglass before. And so I knew that like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to push down on these buttons, right? If you push down, it took me a second to remember it, but I was like, oh yeah. If you push that, it cycles through the different settings. So it's intuitive so long as you intuitively know how to work digital equipment. You know what I mean? Digital pedals, digital amps, things with computers and recalls and that kind of stuff. So I found it very intuitive and easy to figure out. I'll crack open the manual after this and see if there's anything that I missed, and I'll update you in the comments with any of that. But that was the show. Thank you so much. Thank you to Darkglass for sending these over. I really appreciate you. And do me a favor, hit like, hit subscribe if you haven't done that already, and come check out Jamie's Bass Academy. We got a special running right now. There's links in the description. See you next time, y'all.